got this guitar plugged right into the amplifier. No pedals, no nothing. You don't need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on all sorts of pedals. Hey everybody, welcome to John's Guitar Lounge. I'm Johnny Stewart, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my 3 best guitar tone tips. And I don't care how long you've been playing, chances are there's at least one thing in this video that you haven't really thought of before, or even if you thought of it or heard of it, you haven't tried it out yet. So I'm going to show you all about tone, and this is going to apply to no matter what style of music you play, whether you play jazz like I was just doing some Steely Dan chords a minute ago, or if you play hard rock, or if you play country, or if you play blues, or if you play more singer-songwriter type stuff, there's going to be something in this video for you that is going to help you with your tone. Now, the very first guitar tone tip that I'm going to give you today is that you want to be careful with your gain. And what do I mean by that? I mean right here on the amplifier, you're going to see that there's a gain knob. And instead of talking to you about all the technical stuff, I'm going to roll it way back, and I'm just going to show you some examples of what I mean. So right now the gain is all the way down. And now as I turn the gain up a little bit, you're going to see the volume does increase a little bit, but more than that, you're getting more output and a lot more bite and a lot more drive. Now, gain in general is a really good thing, but you've got to be careful with it because it can also be your enemy if you have too much. Because if you see right here, I've got the gain all the way up, and let's say I want to play something jazzy. See how it's breaking up? See how it sounds distorted? And if I don't want any sort of a distorted tone, too much gain is going to be my enemy. Now, if I roll the gain all the way back, you don't necessarily want to have no gain because see how it sounds sort of dull and sort of flat sounding? It's just sort of dull and there's not much life to it. So you want to have some gain, adjust it to where you like it and where it sounds good to you. So you've got to use your ears and listen and find the tone that you like, but it will be in there. Just adjust the gain so that you've got enough oomph behind it so that it's got power and it's not dull sounding, but not so much that it's going to like blare everybody away. That's not that pleasing to the ear, is it? Now, that might be what you want if you're playing hard rock. So let me go on to a dirty channel here and show you the difference. Now that's obviously nice for a solo. Now listen to some chords, even just some basic power chords. That might be a little bit too bright for you. Maybe you don't want something so bright. You don't want something super dark either because you don't want it to be muddy and conflict with the bass player. See, so again, no matter what style of music you play, you want to test this stuff out. Just turn the knobs and see what you like the best. It's not so piercing to the ear. You don't want people to think that you're stabbing them in the ear with an ice pick. Of course, maybe you do. There are styles of music that do that. So if that's you, then turn that gain way up. Now, while we're talking about this, and while we're looking at this amplifier, I want to show you this amp because I am super impressed with this. This is a practice amp, and this is a Newbie KG10 that I just got about a month ago or so. And I've had a lot of amplifiers, big amps, combo amps, small amplifiers, practice amps, travel amplifiers, whatever you want to call them. This would probably be considered the size of a travel amplifier or a practice amplifier. It doesn't get super loud. It's easy to travel with, but it's got great tone. And I've got to tell you, I'm so impressed with this because I've had a bunch of high name brand practice amplifiers, small amplifiers with just 1 or 2, tiny 1-inch speakers like this one has, and they are nowhere near as versatile as this, and they tend to be pretty muddy, and you tend not to be able to get a great sound. But this thing really has great tone, and it has great warmth, and it is surprisingly affordable. I'm going to put a link to this right in the description of this video so you can get one of these. You really got to check this out. I've actually been traveling all week long. I took this with me, and I used it in my hotel. One of the reasons I could do that is because if I turn it around here, it's got this headphone jack. And you're going to say, wait a second, this isn't plugged in, and I don't see a battery compartment. That's right, there's no battery compartment. This actually charges using just a regular phone charger. Now, it comes with a phone charger, So it comes with this one here. You just plug it in right there, and then you plug the other end into the wall and you charge it. You can play it while it's charging, but you don't have to. And this thing lasts like hours. It lasts hours on a single charge. And that is a super, super cool feature. You've also got an auxiliary plug here in case you want to, plug in other stuff and play along with the backing track or with your phone or music and have it come right through the amplifier. And you've also got this headphone jack, so you can really just take your headphones, whatever headphones you've got, and you can plug those right in to the back there, and that kills the sound coming out of the front of the amp. So if you're in a hotel, you're not going to bother anybody and nobody's going to complain about you. And the other super, super cool thing about this, look at this. It actually has Bluetooth. So you don't even have to use the headphone jack if you don't want to use wired headphones. And like I showed you just a minute ago, it's got the clean channel, and then it's also got a drive channel for a lot harder stuff too. And I have never seen a practice amp with two channels that both channels sound so great and are so clear. This is a cool, cool thing. You got to get one of these guys. And while we're talking about it also, Newbie also makes these awesome celluloid picks. And they come not only in these sets with all different thicknesses and stuff, so you can try all different thicknesses and weights of picks if you want to. And this nice plastic carrying case, which you don't see that very often when you buy picks. Usually it's just in like a little cellophane bag, or you just grab a handful of them. But they also come with this pick pouch that has a keyring on it. So if you want to, and you always want to have a pick with you, you just put that on your keyring and take your picks right with you. My guitar tone tip number 2 is you want to make sure that you have your pickups adjusted properly. And what does that mean? That means your pickups raise and lower. And I'm going to show you how to do that. It's super, super easy. Don't be afraid of this. Just be careful. Go slow. You just need a little screwdriver. Now these are humbuckers. The same works for Stratocasters like this, but you raise and lower the pickups. And why does that matter? It's important to have your pickups dialed in right, because pickups basically work off of magnets and a magnetic field. And it's the interaction between the magnets in the pickup and the strings that gives you the sound and that makes the sound come out of the amplifier. And tiny, tiny adjustments of these screws to raise or lower the pickups can have a huge effect on your tone. What you need to do is you need to listen, because every pickup in every guitar basically has a sweet spot that you want to dial it into. There are factory recommended pickup heights where you measure the distance between the string and the pickup. And you can dial it right into factory settings if you want to, but you don't have to. And it's fun to experiment. And you know what? A lot of the time I find that the tone that I'm looking for on a certain guitar comes when I adjust these screws a little bit. If one of your pickups in your guitar seems like it's a little bit dull sounding or something like that, or tinny, or overly bright, or anything else, just try adjusting the pickup height and you're going to find that it might solve the whole problem. And just go slowly and take your time. Every time you turn the screw, either right or left, to raise it to the right or left to lower it, R and L, right raise, left lower, it's that easy. Just go like 1/8 of a turn, like this, like just a tiny amount. You barely even saw my hand move, right? And then try it again and listen to it. So many people spend a ton of money changing out pickups on their guitars, and there are great reasons for that. Sometimes you want to go for a certain sound. I've done it before. I've even got a video on my channel with my very first Stratocaster from when I was a little kid, and I changed out those stock pickups. Trust me, the stock pickups that come in your guitar could be great pickups, and you just might not know it yet because you might not have done this. So just try it out. If you still don't like it afterwards, you can blame me for wasting your time. And don't just do it all in one sitting either. Here's a pro tip. Set it to where you think it sounds good, then set it down for half an hour or an hour, then come back to it and listen to it again, because maybe you'll say, you know, that's good, but maybe I can make it even better. And then you spend more time tweaking it, and maybe it'll sound even better the next time. And do that as many times as you want to until you can dial in the perfect tone that you're looking for. Now, I've noticed I'm going out of tune a little bit, so it's time for me to tune up, and I want to show you this tuner. This is also made by Newbie, and I've got to tell you, I'm so impressed with all these Newbie products. I've swiveled this around. Normally it's behind the headstock so I can see it, but the swivel's all different directions. I'm just going to show you, here's a little bit of a bonus, how to tune your guitar, because people ask that all the time, and I've done this in a few other videos before, but I'm going to show you now. This is such an easy clip-on tuner, and it's such an accurate clip-on tuner. I've had a lot of clip-on tuners and all sorts of stuff like that. This is super accurate, and it's really, really easy to use. I'm doing my high E string here. If it's flat like that, you just keep turning until it comes up to pitch, and it comes up to pitch when it's lit up blue in the center there for whatever string you're tuning. There's the G string, and there it is. Now, if you're sharp, see my D string's a little bit sharp. See how the red is just flicking a little bit? Then you just want to turn it back a little bit. And here's a pro tip. You actually want to go down a little bit lower than you think and then tune up, because that's going to help the string stay more stable and keep the guitar in tune longer for you. So there's that. And then the A string looks good. Then the low E string is a little bit low, so we'll bring that up too. And there you go. And I'm going to put a link in the description for this clip-on tuner from Newbie also, because this is really, really nice. And one other really cool thing about this tuner is it's got a rechargeable battery, and guess what? You charge it with the phone cord, just like you do with that amplifier that I showed you a couple minutes ago. Now, my third guitar tone tip that I'm going to show you in this video is, remember I was talking about the knobs on the amplifier a minute ago? Well, guess what? See these knobs here on the guitar? These actually do things. You don't always have to have everything all the way up on 10. So many people just turn it all the way up to 10 and just go to town. And guess what? You can turn it to 9. You can turn it to 8. This is the volume knob for the neck pickup. You can turn it to 7. Now you might be saying, why do I want to do that? The reason you want to do that is because you're going to notice that you get a lot more natural drive right out of the guitar when you're up on 10. But remember how I was talking about gain before? You know, too much gain, too much drive sometimes can be a bad thing. So if you turn down, let me show you even on the drive channel on that amplifier. So I'm going to show you on the drive channel. Let's see. Now I've got the volume on 6.5 on the guitar here. I've got the volume turned up on the amplifier, but you know what? You can adjust the volume on the amplifier too. And you can dial in the perfect tone for what you want to do. But now, if I want to take a lead, let's say instead of using a volume pedal or using a drive pedal or whatever else, I've got this guitar plugged right into the amplifier. No pedals, no nothing. This is just the guitar into the amplifier, guys. I can turn this up. Let's turn it up to 8. Hear the difference? Now, that's kind of muddy and like way too overdriven, and way too much for when I'm, you know, chomping away on rhythm, but maybe that's the tone you're looking for when you're soloing. Now, remember, that's on the neck pickup, not even on the bridge pickup. You can do the same thing with the bridge pickup, and the volume knob for the bridge pickup is down here. Let me turn this back to 6.5, just to show you. Now the bridge pickup is obviously brighter, as you're going to expect it to be. So maybe that sounds good to you, but I would personally like to turn back just a little bit like that. So it's not quite so aggressive. You can also turn it way back. Or whatever else you want to do. You know what? You don't have to stay within any societal norms when it comes to guitar playing. Test things out. I guess the key to this video, if I had to sum it up in just one word, it's experiment. Experiment. Turn the knobs. Adjust the pickups. Turn the knobs on the amp. Try all different things just with the guitar and the amplifier you've got. You don't need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on all sorts of pedals. You can have one guitar and one amplifier and one jack cord, and that's all you need to make some incredible music if you want to. Just take the time to dial in the tone that you want and get the sound that you want from what you have. And the same is also true with the tone knobs. Since I'm on the bridge pickup here, I'll stay on the bridge pickup. Now just for fun, I'm going to turn the volume all the way up to 10. But I've got the tone all the way down on 0, and now I'm just going to play one note and let it ring out, and just listen to the difference as I turn the tone knob. Hear how it's starting to add in some of the highs? Here, now I'm going back. Hear how that's more dull sounding, kind of. Now I'm up to 5, see? Now I'm on 8. And now maybe it's up too high. Now I've got it all the way up to 10. There, now I've got it all the way up to 10. But you know what? Maybe you want that if you've got a band behind you and you've got another guitar player playing rhythm and you're taking a lead. Maybe you want to have that tone all the way up to 10 so that your guitar solo will carry over the top of all the other stuff that's going on with the drums and the bass and guitars, and if you have keyboards or whatever else. Tone's on 0. Hear how it starts to blossom more right around 5? And on 10 it's super bright. Maybe you want that, but that sounds a little bright for me, so I might back it down maybe to 8. Or even 7, 7.5. And guess what? The same thing is true for the other pickup. And the same thing is true for Stratocasters and Telecasters and whatever kind of guitar you've got, whatever style guitar you've got. Electric guitar. Acoustics, you're not going to see these controls. Unless it's acoustic electric, and then that's a whole other ballgame. But for sticking with electric guitars, remember all these knobs, turn these knobs, and you are going to get a whole bunch of different tones. Now, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, hit the like button on this video so that YouTube will push it out to more people so they can see it and learn from it too. Check out all my NAMM show videos, all my interviews with amazing guitarists, all my live stuff that I've recorded lately with some incredible bands and incredible musicians, and stay tuned for a lot more. Subscribe to John's Guitar Lounge, hit that subscribe button so that way you'll be notified and see all my new videos as soon as they come out, and I will see you right here next time in John's Guitar Lounge. Take care.